The Parent-Teacher Association of the Kumasi Academy is asking parents who took their wards home to bring them back to school for vaccination. The Ghana Health Service started a vaccination exercise in the school after 4 students died following an outbreak of a strain of the H1N1 virus in the school. The national president of the Kumaka PTA, Alexander Yaudanso, says the move has become necessary as health officials struggled to have students show up for the exercise. We'll bring more by Ohim Interior. Well, we'll bring you that story later. But traders at the Asafo market are appealing to government to clear refuse that has engulfed the market. Sections of the market have been turned into a refuse dump while people urinate into the open and into choked drains. They say repeated appeals to city authorities to address the challenge has been proved futile. A perilous journey through the Sahara Desert to Europe via North Africa through the Mediterranean, especially Libya, is perhaps the last thing one may anticipate from a Ghanaian youth, at least for now. Recent worrying stories of stranded black African entrepreneurs or adventurers being sold into slavery and subjected to other atrocities in the Northern African country have left many people quite shocked. However, report of mass exodus of youth in mining communities in Ghana in search of opportunities elsewhere, including Libya, could be mind-blowing. And they have a good reason, or not, as they cite government's continued ban on small-scale and illegal mining, which leaves them with no alternative sources of livelihood. And JoyNews has been exploring the subject as we assess the impact of the ban on mining on locals in some of these mining communities. Nana Sensu Mensah has been in some of these mining communities and has filed the next story.
The initial 6-month government ban on small-scale mining meant to save devastation of the environment was due to end last October, but extended by 3 months. Although government has committed $100 million to reclaim land destroyed by illegal miners, and lots of pits remain uncovered nationwide. Some youth who have been displaced by the ban are struggling to find alternatives. We find out at Adumanu in the Amansia Central District of the Ashanti region. Despite deployment of anti-Galamsey Task Force Operation Vanguard, they still invade the mining site with their tools in search of waste materials for processing into gold. Abubakar echoes the concerns of his peers.
Because our president said he is going to bring so many work for the individual people to do. And we said the work too didn't come, and our president to say he's stopping the work. So what are we going to do now? No work for us to do. That's why we are all forcing coming here right now.
So what if you hear the Operation Vanguard is coming? What are you going to do?
If they comes, we will run. If they comes, we will run. And they go, then we come because we can't stop the work.
The story of some of the youth opting to look beyond Ghana into Libya, of all places, can shock any visitor to the community. Michael John speaks worriedly about how his friend had died on the perilous journey through the Sahara Desert en route to Europe.
My friend, he left here this year. The month February, but I heard that he went Libya, and when he get there, things were difficult for him there. So he decided to leave from Libya to Italy, but he didn't reach there.
At Kotokuom in the Achiman-Pona district, also in the Ashanti region, a similar trend among the out-of-job miners pertains. Here is chief of the Zongo community, Jibril Ibrahim, who is worried about the loss of active youth in such manner.
Libya, shape so so when the ground here now no no family and tackle
citrus farmer Joseph Oususetre contemplates a trip through the Sahara region to Europe despite government warning. He is worried his produce never attracts the usual high patronage market due to the ban on mining.
So I'm prepared to live in Ghana. If Cote d'Ivoire, Libya, if I don't get stay at my hometown and I'm suffering from other country, I prefer that than sitting at Ghana and I'm still suffer. Yes.
Well, aren't you scared about all the stories about people going to Libya?
As of the living at Ghana, they don't have anything that small-scale mining, galamsey, that they depend on it has been broken.
This place is a typical mining site. This particular place used to be a very vibrant market. The women here used to sell for the miners, but due to the ban on galamsey, they have nothing to do. This place is virtually empty. For market women, this is what some have resorted to. Nanasa Sumensa, reporting for Joy News.
Traders at the Asafo market are appealing to government to clear refuse that has engulfed the market. Sections of the market have been turned into a refuse dump while people urinate in the open and into choked drains. They say repeated appeals to city authorities to address the challenge has proved futile. Love FM's Kwesi Debra reports.
Asafo Market is undoubtedly the second largest market facility after Kumasi Central Market. From afar, things appear normal and decent. A close observation, however, reveals a woman removing her child's nappy while a man urinates behind a pile of tomato boxes. The man's urine and the baby's nappy will end up in the same pool.
Located right at the center of Asafo. This drain might appear very small, but it is the Goliath of traders and commuters alike.
Vegetable oil seller Akua Frima, Abdullah Musa, who sells onions, are a meter apart of each other. They are battling a common enemy. This place is smelly, she says. Sometimes we get headache. We eat here and we always live in fear of contracting some disease. You see them dumping fecal matter and urine in the drain. I believe you can smell it, she bemoans. The stench is overwhelming. The rain is our only respite, but for it, we would die. The stench even drives customers away. Today, some of the waste cabbage ways to be carted by the collection agents. It's better, thanks to Mubarak and friends for the intervention.
6 to 7.
We clean them between 6 and 7 p.m. We pay the Miltakia guys every day to carry them to the dump site. Asafo is also home of the longest chain of cool stores in Kumasi, and some rotten fish finds itself to a final destination here. After several calls to authorities, the central market can be considered clean. They are credited with quick garbage collection response. Joy News checks reveal waste trucks frequent the collection point, where a mini container full of waste wait to be lifted. The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly's night cleaning seems to be making a difference in mitigating filth in the city. More, however, needs to be done for the Garden City to live up to its name. Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
And still in Kumasi, the Parent Teacher Association of Kumasi Academy is asking parents who took their wards home to take the students back to school for vaccination. The Ghana Health Service started a vaccination exercise in the school after 4 students died following an outbreak of a strain of H1N1 in the school. National President of PTA Ghana, Alexander Yaudanso, says the move has become necessary as health officials struggle to have students show up for the exercise. Ohiminteria has more.
4 students of Kumaka have been killed and 40 others were hospitalized for what officials say is swine flu. Though the Ministry of Health and World Health Organization have supplied antibiotics, students who went home at the instance of their parents are yet to return. A team of medical experts have since been on campus to take clinical samples for further investigations. Mr. Danso led national executives of PTAs to interact with school authorities. He says parents have no basis keeping the children out of school when medical experts are on hand to provide services.
I've asked my regional chairman to convene an emergency meeting with the parents, from the unit schools, the parents of the unit schools, not that of Kumaka alone, from all the senior high schools in the region, so that we convince them. Because taking your wards back to home, wouldn't solve the problem. And my information is that they have been, when they went home, they have been sending them to the various hospitals. Why didn't you allow them to, stay here so that they administer the drugs they are giving to the other students? So we'll meet them soon and then we'll talk to them.
Mr. Danso commends authorities for handling the issue with what he says is decorum.
It may interest the public to know that teachers on campus were using their cars, their vehicles to convey the students to their various hospitals without even collecting fuel, without any fee. Few people can do what they have done. So I commend them, and they risk their lives, getting in contact with those who have been affected, or, it's also a risk. But they took it. So not that nothing has been done. They are doing their best. They have done their best, and they continue to do their best. We thank them for that.
Meanwhile, the PTA and the Ghana Education Service have launched a nationwide insurance scheme with private insurance firm Saham Insurance for students. Each student would contribute 7 Ghana cedis a term as a premium. Mr. Danso explains the rationale for the scheme and benefits for the insured.
We've had spate of accidents on our roads, in our homes, in our schools, involving some of our students. And, Kumaka, not only Kumaka, a lot of, about 2-3 weeks ago, a car knocked down a student at West Africa Senior High School. We went to, I think, Ilo Krobo or Manya Krobo, and they had lost about 3 students. We went to Pukuwari, that is the beginning of the term. A second-year science student, 17-year-old boy, lost his life. Sewa could be Sewa, Afia could be Sewa. Also, so some are on head. People don't even broadcast it, but we are listening. We are on the ground. We know what is happening. It is 7 Ghana cedis per term. That is the student and the sponsoring parent or guardian. If you have 7 cedis per term and you pay, fine. If you want to pay for the year, that is okay. And in case of whether you pay it fully or partially, whatever happens to you, you'll get a benefit.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
The Electricity Company of Ghana says it has substantially resolved the computer malfunction that left over 40,000 of its prepaid customers unable to buy electricity credits since the beginning of the month. Many of the customers in some of Accra's most populous areas had to throng the ECG project office to reactivate their cards they use often to buy power as a result. An official told journalists at a news conference on Monday there were only a few complaints yet to be resolved. Nancy Jiradosi, however, reports there were still a substantial number of stranded customers at the ECG project office when she visited after the news conference.
Most of the affected customers of the Electricity Company of Ghana have had to survive the last few days without electricity at great inconvenience and with implications for their businesses. Though officials of ECG have consistently assured them of a resolution, many continue to sleep in darkness. The company's managing director, Samuel Boachiapia, was on hand to offer yet another assurance.
We have substantially resolved the BOT challenge. Customers should therefore visit their district offices to do normal business with ECG. What we are doing today is mopping up where some 40 cards need outright replacement and others who deposited their cards earlier are at our offices for collection.
At the ECG project office, however, the story was different. Though the queues are not long as last week, some of the customers complained they have had to spend several hours in the sweltering heat just to collect their cards.
I'll say almost 1 week now. I brought my card because of the congestion. We were asked to envelope it and then drop at the reception. I did, and since then I've been coming here daily. The names are being mentioned and my name is not found. Unfortunately, I came today and the problem is that my card is misplaced, so I have to get a new card.
Last week, Wednesday, I sent my sister to come and buy prepaid. We live in Latibia, Koshi, and it's really upsetting because when she came, there was a queue, and they asked her to come because there was an error. And up to now, today is Monday, we heard on the news that everything has been resolved, but we came to find out that there's still queue.
I don't know, I brought my car Thursday. They said I should go out, I should come here Monday morning to come and check it. I come here in the morning, they said I should go and look at the list they put it on the walls. I find my name there, my card is not yellow. But now I'm talking to you, since morning I came here, I can't find my card.
Others had a different problem.
What is your name?
Wilfred Na.
Wilfred?
Yeah.
So I see Wilfred Na here.
Yeah, so now
that's
my name. Yeah,
okay.
That's my name.
All right. So do you know where you're supposed to go from here?
I don't know, because the name and the number is here, but I don't know the next step that I'm going to take now.
Information, whether my name is in. So my name is Joseph Akovi, so I'm going through the J. If the J, I can't see the J. Josiah Kofi. Okay. If I can't see my name on the J column, I have to go to the K. Josiah Kofi. This one is Josiah Kwe.
Okay.
Yes.
So how long have you been looking for your name?
Oh, it's in like 20 minutes now.
20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes now.
But have you reported to any of the...
I just want to go to. If I didn't, I'll go and do my report over there.
Nancy Jiradosi, JoyNews.
The Information Minister is pleading with Ghanaians to bear with government on the challenges that have bedeviled the implementation of the free SHS school policy. Well, Mustafa Hamid says the problems were largely due to the admission of more first-year students than the schools could accommodate. Speaking with members of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly at a town hall meeting on Monday, Mr. Hamid was confident government has done enough to address the challenges. Kwesi Parker-Wilson has more in this report.
The town hall meeting is part of government effort at deepening the governance system at the local level to engender grassroots participation in the decision-making process. Participants at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly session included personnel drawn from the security services, traditional leaders, traders, among others. Greater Accra Regional Minister Ishmael Ashite, who served as the chairman of the event, in his opening remarks admonished participants to desist from peddling falsehood about government policies.
The development of this region and the nation at large is our responsibility and a shared one indeed. Let us therefore resolve to dialogue with government when such opportunities are created, to understand its policies and programs rather than to peddle falsehood.
Information Minister Mustafa Hamid said government was not oblivious of the challenges that have come with the implementation of free SHS.
Begging the Ghanaian people that let us bear with the challenges of free SHS. Let us not allow anybody to deceive us that because there are challenges, let us cancel the system. I beg you, if we cancel it and continue the way that we used to continue, this country will never ever develop.
He said government could rightly claim credit for stabilizing the electricity supply situation because it has ensured that funds have been available to keep the generating units running.
We said that energy is critical to a nation's development, not for the upper class of society, but for artisans, for small-scale businesses. We have worked very hard to restore power stability in our country. Today, we have forgotten that there was doomsday in this country. We forgot it. When we talk, people say, oh, but you didn't add any more megawatts of power to what was there. It is not that. We had said that it was about money. There was no money to power these power generating plants. But we said that when we come to power, we will find the money to be able to do it.
Mayor of Accra, Ning Ejesoa, on his part outlined a series of interventions put in place to improve revenue mobilization for the assembly.
And on the issue of revenue mobilization, we need to improve upon our revenue mobilization schemes that we have. The Assembly has therefore revised its revenue mobilization strategy to ensure that enough revenue is generated to carry out more developmental activities for the city. The strategy has taken into consideration a more mechanized and modernized revenue collection system and shall be rolled out beginning 2018.
Members of the public who sat through the session got the opportunity to ask questions, criticize, and also offer suggestions.